Hi, Stuart Townend here. This is part of the video series of Preparing to Lead, which is on my website. Today we're going to talk about alternate tunings on the guitar. I use alternate tunings quite a lot when I'm playing live. I use it quite a lot, but also when I'm writing, I find it quite inspiring. It makes the sound of the guitar a little different, and I find it kind of quite creative to use it. What are alternate tunings? Alternate tuning is changing the pitch of the strings. We're all familiar probably with the E, A, D, G, B and E of a standard tuning. And that's where we get our usual chords of D, G, C, E, A. And this is a good standard tuning for reaching all sorts and playing in all sorts of keys and reaching different chords. What is alternate tuning? It's actually changing the pitch of the strings so that actually we get a slightly different sound. The most common one that lots of people use is actually, instead of having the E here, we take it down to D. So it's the same note as the D string here. Why is that useful? Well, listen to how different it sounds with a chord like D. You've got a depth there. Kind of made the sound of the guitar a little bit bigger. So that's a standard or a usual tuning that people use. Why use alternate tunings? Well, it actually enables us to get away from that typical sound that we get. You know, when you're playing Ds and Gs all the time, there's a particular sound, there's a particular voicing of the usual way that we play those chords. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it becomes so familiar. You kind of feel you get stuck in a rut a little bit. So I quite enjoy changing the tuning because actually it just creates a different kind of sound. It also really plays to the strengths of a guitar when it's open sounding. What do I mean by open? I mean as many open strings as is possible. So you'll see when we look at the different alternate tunings that actually the guitar can sound much fuller and much bigger. As it does with this low D, it actually creates a bigger kind of sound. Particularly if you're playing actually solo as well without other instruments, it gives you feel the spectrum, the frequency spectrum much more when you're using these kind of open tunings. It's not so good for things like jazz where you're playing lots of more complex chords. It's not impossible, you just need to learn different shapes. And that's the other slight disadvantage with changing the tuning, is obviously you need to amend where you're putting your fingers because the notes are slightly different in relation to one another now. But we'll look at that a little bit more. But I'd encourage you to explore as you watch these next few videos, because you'll then see the different ways that we can retune, and actually it makes it really interesting.